Hello, YouTube, TeamAonn.com, wherever you may be watching this. This is Odogoo with Team Aonn. We are here. Super Mario Maker 2 has been announced. We did the first reaction video, and I want to take a deep dive into what we saw, because it was a lot. Like, far beyond slopes. I mean, everybody, we got hyped about slopes, but there was so much more, and we got to crack this open. There is one thing that I wanted to talk about beforehand, just to get that bit out of the way, because there is so much here positive that there was one negative that just kept coming to my head when I was watching this, and then when I was thinking over, okay, what did I just see? And that is the amount of hot garbage, troll, cryptic, super expert, find the invisible something or other, quote unquote impossible levels, which nobody likes playing. You question why someone made it. Simply put, it kind of ruins the game a bit, and from the cool aspects that they are incorporating, which would make super fun imaginative levels, I can see how they can be used for evil and taking, great power and not having that great responsibility. So that's out of the way. Let's get into what we saw, what this means, and some things that maybe you missed when you were watching it. So let's get into this. We are talking about Super Mario Maker 2, unboxing it. So the first thing that we see is Mario World, looks normal, jumps, dies. Not, the most spectacular start, but it is a start. And then they go into the edit mode. And the edit mode looks a little bit different. It still has the 12 items, which is nice because the 12 item challenge is something that a number of people enjoy, including myself, even though I don't really have time for it. I also noticed that in the items, they have a little color above them, where some, as you can see, have yellow, green, like a pink, purple, baby blue, and all the way to the left, you see a happy little block and the frog. So it seems that they have changed up the look and also condensed some things to fit others in. Now, I'd be shocked if they didn't have Super Mario World, so that's honestly nothing new. The terrain, standard terrain. Not sure what the little camera guy is. The time limit, that is, again, standard. There is a flag, which we will get back to. Something in the lower left, that's two things. I really can't make that out. Maybe amiibos? I'm not really sure. And then the Mario, okay, this is the trajectory. Everything else is pretty standard. And then we get a real look on what those colors were and the big first change, and that is the selection screen of what items that you have. I feel that they had to do this, one, because there's so much new stuff going into it. Here, it seems that they have enemies, and all the enemies I'm seeing are standard. And then you have items, and this is where you see something a bit different, which is the 10 coin, which is very reminiscent of Super Mario World's Yoshi coin. I believe that one was 5 coins. And I like the fact that they have this because in New Soup, you have those 3 coins that you can collect. So the fact that that can be incorporated into levels also seems like a new cool idea. It also is very interesting if you wanted to do 100 coin levels, which are a thing, and you don't want to spam a whole bunch of coins to get that 100 coins. And then you have terrain, and all of it looks standard except for the 2 slopes. I know, oh my god, slopes. It seems to be all that is hyped, and I do gotta explain why. It's something that felt so lacking that it should have been, even if it had to be done in an update in the original Super Mario Maker, to the point that people figured out how to make pseudo slopes in that game. And it looks like we have 2 different ones, which if you ever played around in Lunar Magic, which is the Super Mario World editing tool to make ROM hacks, they have 2 different kinds of slopes, and it looks like we got both of them, the steep one and then the gradual one. And everything else looks standard, which is fine. So you select your slope, and it can be edited in a way that the mushroom trees can be edited, where you click and drag and place, and then bam, you have a slope, which seems very intuitive, and a lot easier than Lunar Magic, because Lunar Magic, you mess around with the slopes, then Mario's going inside the wall. And here's where it just gets better. We see what appears to be tornadoes, and they're happy little marshmallow-looking tornadoes. They kind of look like the tornadoes in Super Mario Bros. 3, and I'm hoping that is what they are. From what other people have said, they think that as well. I don't see why not, but here is where they just slam us with all the new awesome bits after they got the slopes out of the way. But look at them. Aren't they just happy little, I'm gonna shoot Mario up to some spikes, little marshmallow tornado things? Just look at their face. It's the face of happy death. And speaking of Mario 3, oh my god, this picture says so much. Not only do we see the sun, which is one of those big Mario 3 staples that we were hoping would be added as an update, but look at the background. It doesn't look like it's the standard regular world, sub-world, ghost house. One of the things that I wanted to address is one of the reasons why this trailer is so hyped, besides the slopes, I know I keep mentioning the slopes, is because we have waited so long with 0 updates, no word on if or when we were going to get Super Mario Maker 2, and it was basically just silent minus we're going to delete good courses for no real reason. And now we get a look at, we are still getting some new soup, which is fine. I know a lot of people aren't fans of new soup due to how many bad levels there are that tend to just be exclusively to new soup, and the whole new soup speedrun, which there are far too many that are bad that have basically soured people on the good ones. We also see that we have what appears to be a number of arrows, and behind the edit part on the left, it looks to be some kind of green blocks, and then when it continues, you see that you can create a moving platform, something that can be a bit of a pain to incorporate and do in the regular Super Mario Maker, which again leads me to believe that they have listened to some sort of feedback. And then you get something that I am very excited about, and that is the up and down water in Super Mario World. It's something that in Lunar Magic I never could really figure out and then look into, that just adds so much more. A bunch of us have wanted the ability to add water into non-water levels. That way you could have a regular level that has some water, and then you can go down into a pipe, and that be a water level as the sub-level. And then we get another staple of Super Mario World, which is the on and off switches, which is what, again, we have been trying to replicate in Super Mario Maker with the whole hit a POW to kill a muncher that is blocking the way. Yes, it's not the same, but it's something that, again, we wanted and tried to replicate. So it's nice that we will have a way to do that where we are not wasting more resources to get the job done. And speaking of different resources, we get to find in the next screen so many answers that as of yet in the trailer were unanswered. And that is, one, what that camera symbol meant, and what you can see is it's not a camera, it is a bird, and it says custom scroll. Now, in different levels, specifically Super Mario World, I keep going back to that, and they seem to keep going back to it as well, even though it doesn't look like Super Mario World right now. It's Super Mario Bros, of course. But the whole moving screen, which again was a pain to set up in Lunar Magic, is something that we can now do. And we also see something interesting. The other item below the time now has a coin with 50, which, just based on this and not seeing the rest of the trailer, tells me that to get the goal or to get the win, one of the constraints, instead of getting all the red coins and then being able to go to the door, which is key door, and that's the only way to beat the level, is possibly you need 50 coins to complete the level. And once they go out of the edit, it all but confirms that, where we see that indeed the camera and the scroll is going up and then down like they indicated, and 4 coins out of 50. So yes, that would be required to get to the goal, which is fantastic for, again, the 100 coin levels, which are very popular. And this is what I am very excited about. And then it goes back to the enemies, and we're seeing some new enemies here. We are seeing that there is a fish, which I have a feeling when they go into Mario 3 view, because the sprites change, that is going to be the big fish, the big bass in World 3. And they also have the ant, which I'm not really sure what it will be in the other different games as far as Mario 3, Super Mario Bros, Mario World. So I'm not really sure there. And also to the right, you can see that they have 2 different piranhas, a bull, I'm not really sure what I'm seeing below the bull, a bee, and a mouse. From what I'm thinking on the one that I'm not sure of, because I know that's in, I believe it's Super Mario 3D World, where you jump on it, and it's like almost a spring where it springs you up. I could be wrong. But all the way to the left, we also see a power-up that's the bell, which indicates that this is going to have Super Mario 3D World, which is a new type of level creation. I was hoping for Mario Bros. 2, but I'm kind of interested to see how they incorporate a 3D Mario game into a 2D platform. Yes, it did have sections that were 2D, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've played the game, but it's an interesting power-up where we can climb walls without adding extra stuff to make it a requirement to go up a wall. Now this one I'm not sure if it is just the 3D Mario Bros. Version of the mushroom that's already in the game, or if it is a new item that we can climb, which is the bell tree, and I'm kind of curious if it'll be climbable in the other game sets. It also looks like we can hide stuff in the bell trees like you can find in Super Mario 3D World. And it looks like we got two different kinds of regular blocks, where maybe one is something you can use a P-switch on, and something that the other gray ones that you have to blow up, for example, either with a thwomp or with a bomb, which again leads to more creative level building options. And then we go to the next thing, which, like the moving platforms, this is the second piranha, which, if you played the 3D world, was one that would move around. So either this is the 3D world's version of the moving platform, or this is an added bit that can incorporate the whole arrows and stop point. And I'm not really sure what the cart with the number 2 is. In some screens it says 1. I'm not sure if that's their way of saying main world or sub-world. And then next, because there's so much stuff coming at us, we see that they have the buildable blocks where you keep hitting it and it creates more blocks, which is another fun element. Not really sure what could be done with that as far as different types of levels, besides it just being fun to do in that game. And this leads us into the dreaded water level stages. And again, quick, what I'm seeing is that, for example, the constraint is you need to find 100 coins, but also that we have these buildable pipes that you can warp through but still not actually leave the sub or main world. And the cool thing about these is you can shoot fireballs and clear your way without actually being in front of the enemy, which I think could be cool with a puzzle level. And then Crab just went crazy. It looks like we got, I'm not sure if this is a conveyor, also different semi-solids possibly, and giant bonsai bill looking things coming from the foreground, which looks scary and crazy, and I'm hoping these are bonsai bills, because that's one of my favorite enemies, and I don't know why they did not put that in an update where you just give a cannon a possible mushroom or something. So the fact that they are individual, hopefully, where you don't need a cannon for something to shoot at you like you can do in Lunar Magic. Also look at these platforms. They are the tipping ones, which we have not had. So I'm not sure if the one earlier was also a tipping one and wasn't just an adjustable regular moving platform. We also see the coin that's a 10 coin, which is cool, and we see the constraint that you can have a constraint of more than 100 coins to properly clear a level. And then we go back to Super Mario World, and we see a number of things in this quickly, where there is a pink pipe for some reason, don't know why. We also have the parachuting enemies, which is very different than winged enemies, because the winged enemies, they fly left to right. The parachute ones teeter-totter all the way down, and this appears that we can do vertical stages. And of course, you know, they had to do the enemy spam, but it looks like we got different color Yoshis, which pleases me because I love my Yoshis. And they have the liquid pink Kool-Aid as well, which is awesome because that Kool-Aid really tipped me off in the game that it's from. I died so much to it. And then we see so much as it ends off. We see the big bass, which indicates that, yes, most likely it's going to be the big bass from Mario 3. Different kinds of blocks. Freaking boom boom. And then they do it. They confirm it. It's Bonsai Bill. It is my Bonsai Bill that I have been wanting since I got Super Mario Maker back in 2015. So happy about that. It looks possibly that you can put the bonsai bills and maybe even bullet bills without the need of a cannon, which you can do in Lunar Magic. Now, this has been a lot to unbox. It seems that they've taken different items that have been iconic in certain games and added them and expanded what you can do while keeping the old. There are some questions though. Will stars be ported? Will old levels be able to be played, such as backwards compatibility? Well, this is what we got, guys, so far. Tons of speculation, rumors. The one that I am hoping is that they've given us enough where, in theory, we can make our own game. Don't really know what they'll be doing as far as updates, if it's going to be a DLC. We're too early in this to actually give that any real thought. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? What had you the most hyped besides slips? Because slips. Personally, it is just all the new stuff that we will get to play with, as well as the new scenery. But leave your comment down below. For now, this has been Odogoo with Team Aonn. Remember to like, subscribe, check us out at teamaonn.com, and as always, enjoy your game.